Good evening. Another edition of the Dugout. Here it is. With me, Siddharth Harshit. It's been a busy Monday morning. Started pretty early at 9 a.m. Rohit-Gambhir coming in for the press conference. And if you thought that was the exciting bit, it was not. It's actually after the press conference that more and more exciting things in the world of news are emerging, whether it is fighting of Gambhir fan with Rohit fans that is continuing after all the reports of the review meeting. Why was Rohit not sitting there? Conspiracy theories, so on and so forth, and still not 100% clarity whether he's going to be there or not. All of those things we will talk about. But before that, we have another adding a little bit of fuel to the fire in Mr. Manjrekar.
Yeah.
What has he said?
So, Sanjay Manjrekar is like said, just watch Rohit-Gambhir in the press conference. Maybe wise for BCCI to keep him away from such duties. Let him work behind the scenes. He does not have the right demeanor. This is the word that is used, demeanor. Nor the words when interacting with them. Rohit Agarkar, much better guys to front up for the media. Now, he does not have the right demeanor nor the words. If he had not used that, it would have been a very harmless tweet. But this has once again added to Sanjay Manjrekar being Sanjay Manjrekar.
Even the second line may be wise for the BCCI to keep him away from the duties. Like, this is as blatant as it gets. There's no mincing of words at all.
Okay, before I even dissect the tweet, I just want you to know, I saw the press conference. You saw the press conference. Did you see the press conference?
Partly.
Did you find something amiss or what? What could be the genesis of this opinion is what I want.
See, firstly, we felt that we were geared up for a 25 to 30 minute press conference because it was Rohit-Gambhir. We felt that he would tell us a lot of things. But then he kept it to close to 17 minutes. In that...
But I don't think he kept it.
The questions that were posed
they were
meant
limited,
that he had
last two questions or whatever.
Yeah.
So there were about 10, 12 questions. So.
But there was nothing surprising in the way Rohit-Gambhir spoke. Nothing surprising. You wanted blunt answers, he gave you blunt answers. You wanted fiery responses, you got fiery responses. This was Rohit-Gambhir
What
even
fiery
before.
responses? I don't think there
For
were
the
any.
Ponting one.
Of course.
One agreed, but
And
again,
on social media, who decides the opinion on social
they
media?
were
that you heard before as well.
You've
So it's
gotten
a
used to
continuation.
Yeah.
Gambhir's this thing, but he was fiery nonetheless, no?
Just on the Ponting bit, I felt okay. That was Gambhir. Even if he wasn't the coach, he would have said
I'll
the
tell
same.
you now, he said about Ponting, who is he to say that?
Yes.
Second, he was asked, you're facing the heat on social media, to which he said, who cares what happens on social media? That's also very. He was asked about some 11, he said, now come on, I'm not going to tell you the
11.
whole 11. So that's fiery.
It was fiery and
But because you expect out of him, now you're saying, Are.
See, only
What
the
was
Ponting
different
bit
from
sort of
Gambhir?
came like a little bit of a bolt to the blue, but otherwise, I'm not going to give you the playing 11. Of course, you're going to be asking for.
No, I think
No,
that maybe
Rohit-
what Sanjay Manjrekar is alluding to, that in your thing it's not fiery, maybe because you think Gautam's press conference is alive.
He's just that
maybe,
personality.
No, maybe he feels that press conference should be even more milder and normal.
See, for example,
Run
on
of
the
the
playing
mill.
11 bit, I suddenly remember so many anecdotes of a press conference. Rohit Sharma said, "Yaar, playing 11 mein abhi thodi bataunga yaar. You'll come
But
to
that's
know
different
about it."
personalities now.
But Gambhir straight up, "Arey yaar, why will I reveal the playing 11?" Some people's, if you have to ask the way how the Mumbai aesthetics is and a Delhi aesthetics, that's a cultural shock for them. "Arey yaar, we asked a question on 11, how can he be so rude to us?" I can get from where they are coming. Because they are used to that bindas, chill, behind the scenes, ऐसे कुछ, "अरे यार,
Laid
क्या
back.
भी क्यों?" Laid back.
So you think there is merit in what Sanjay is saying, that
There is absolutely no merit. When Gautam...
no merit, acha.
When Rohit-Gambhir came on...
No, because you said you can understand what they are saying.
But it's a very fake narrative that has been peddled around. Like, oh, why should you be mild in a press conference? Yeah, press conference...
But he's not said mild. He said that you should just keep him away from such duties. Firstly,
I'm doing it from the right demeanor.
I actually take objection to that. I understand as commentators, as pundits, you and I are all entitled at times, to cast opinions. But that doesn't mean, if he's the coach, if he is the captain, if he is a stakeholder in the team, whosoever it is, you can't just be then pointing and say, no, such and such person should not be coming. That's no way. That is absolutely no way. Does that ever happen in sport? No, the stakeholders, the decision makers are put into those positions and they will at times front up to these duties, which is expected of them. Just because you didn't get to hear what you wanted to hear, or you didn't like the demeanor, or you didn't like how he was holding the cup in his hand, whatever it may be, that doesn't mean that you make such a personal comment.
Why must Gambhir change now when he's the coach than what he was? The strength of his was in your face, fierce. That's what you want from a head coach, right? You want to be fierce. You want to ensure that, okay, the loss hasn't impacted me. What if he had become a very timid guy? Oh, no, yaar, we are not favorites for the BGT. I understand our weaknesses.
But I don't think Sanjay is saying he should be timid or he should not be fiery.
Then why did he have to use the word demeanor? Because in demeanor, your attitude, your behavior, all is enlightened in that. If you look up what the definition of a demeanor in the dictionary, these are the kind of factors which are weighed in that. Behavior, attitude, the
Conduct.
way how you have your thought process, how you express your opinions and all that.
So with that, you mean he's suggesting that he was chip on my shoulder, a bit arrogant in the presser? Is that what?
It's like as if the whitewash never happened. I may be totally beaten up, but I'm still walking with my absolute strength. I'm just going full hilt without any care.
So that's what may not have gone down well.
That is probably
And
what
is that right?
That is not right. I mean, I have a coach who wants to just look ahead. He's just, with this use of the right demeanor, he's just one of those social media noises that shouldn't be taken seriously.
Okay, I want to know because I'm not saying that we're giving too much importance to just one tweet. What this tweet has done is it's kind of got a conversation going in general about this or the demeanor or whatever. So that is what we're trying to spend time on, just trying to understand the coach's personality. So first thing, just want to make it clear that it's not the tweet that we're going to spend a lot of time discussing, because after all it's just one person's opinion, it's on Twitter, but we want to discuss in totality. So the one other shoot off of this has happened, and maybe both of you can answer that, is that many think that this is again an extension of that Delhi-Mumbai fight that has been happening ever since the debacle, coach, captain, this. Is it an extension of that? Yes or no?
Yes, it is. Okay. Yes, it is. Because look at the names that he's used. Manjrekar, Rohit, Agarkar, connect the dots. You will come to know. You wanted to stoke the fuel of a conspiracy theory. This tweet is proof. It has stoked that controversy all over again. If a same Mumbaikar had done whatever Gambhir had done, would anybody have stated it? No. As a clan, they are very loyal. If there is anybody else, then boss, we'll all gang up. It's the way how we have all been calling the conspiracy theorists now. The fuel has been given. Now let the fire burn. That's what this tweet is. And okay, in the past, I have appreciated Sanjay Manjrekar in that Jadeja incident when it happened in 2019. There, he was unfairly criticized because he had spoken the truth. Even in the Hardik Pandya episode, yes, we are a divided house, but then I felt, yes, he did the right thing. But here, he's way off the mark. A coach is fronting up without his captain, okay? He's been tasked to go and fight the fire. Before the BGT, what do you expect from him? Okay, I know I've lost 3-0. Should I wallow in that and then sing Khada Hu Aaj Bhi Wahi until the cows come home? No, na.
Is that man Siddharth?
It is that month, but then Gambhir is not cut from that cloth.
Yeah.
He wants to go ahead and imagine what kind of interactions if Gambhir comes to Australia in front of the Aussie media.
No, that will be blockbuster.
Don't you want this avatar of Gambhir?
You're going to have that. That I can predict now, by the way. Whatever happens with this series, press conferences are going to be a whole lot of fun in the BGT. If Gautam's coming a few times, if a few Australian players are coming a few times, things will be said and replies would be come. But that's another thing to look forward to. Right now we're restricting ourselves.
But I can sympathize because we have been used to 3 years of absolute gentlemanly behavior. In Rahul Dravid, he was the epitome of being a gentleman. So I know to adjust to that may take some time. So I will give them that much of kudos to it that okay, it may take time for you to adjust to the bindas or brash nature of Gautam Gambhir. Because
Okay.
you have had to face 3 years of gentlemanly behavior in Rahul Dravid.
Okay, your turn to answer, Mr. Ahuja. Is
Uh,
it an extension?
Not quite. I think this is just Manjrekar doing Manjrekar things, where he'll single people out as he's done in the past as well. He's singled cities out as well at times. I remember him making a comparison between Mumbai and Colombo once, for which he got flack on social
What was
media.
that?
That was the time that India were touring Sri Lanka for a bilateral series. Again, I think it was a
2021?
couple of years back, and he put out a tweet from his hotel room. He shared an image where there was, his hotel room was overlooking a river, and you could get a glimpse of the entire city. He puts up a picture, and the caption read, "You give Mumbai a scrub, it looks like Colombo," and he got a lot of flack for that. So that's just Manjrekar
So
doing.
he took a pot shot at Mumbai as well.
Yes.
He wasn't wrong though.
But it reminds me of something unparliamentary right now, which I can't say. But that's just Manjrekar doing Manjrekar things, and I think today as well it was uncalled for. Just like that tweet that I just stated was uncalled for. So many of his comments in the past have also been misdirected. I think today as well, no need. But it's not a harmless tweet. It is a tweet that will make noise.
Okay. See, I mean, my take on this is, see, first of all, as I mentioned earlier as well, because they are talking about the press conference, and the press conference is meant for the press, and as a member of press, I would like to just say my 2 bits, without getting into the details of what Sanjay has said, that we are so starved for people coming for press conferences. I come from that part of the press.
Of course.
We are so starved for people coming to press conferences that anyone who comes, whether you like him, don't like him, good, bad, ugly, whatever, I am just grateful for the fact that someone is addressing a press conference. Because there are times the biggest things happen and nobody comes and says. There are no official things. We will get into that. We still don't know officially whether Rohit will be there or not. Whether he's traveling or not. All of those things are just leaked information. There are hardly ever any press conferences.
There is no human element in it.
I have done this now for 2.5 decades, and in that time, the interaction and the press conferences have steadily
Dwindled.
reduced over the years. They have gone down. So I do not have the luxury of even complaining who has come. So long as you've sent someone, because I have been fed on a diet of, on an important day that India has lost the test match, a fielding coach has come. On an important day that a captain has taken a decision that, about declaration, not declaring or anything like that has happened, maybe the bowling coach has come that day. So I have been fed on that. So what I do is, like beggars can't be choosers. I've reached that situation where a person comes for the press conference. I'm just happy that, sir, you are here. At least you will answer some of our questions. The day we start getting used to this, where normal service will resume, where press conference will become a norm, that day I may think of, no, yaar, you could have sent this person, no, this one would have been better, that person on this day should have been better, I could have looked at. That's my first thing. So no complaints either side.
Before you get to the second part, can I tell you, the time that the presser ended, and I was reading through things on social media as well, it's exactly the sentiment I had in mind, because somewhere I wasn't satisfied with today's press conference, and that's what I was thinking, that in this democratic world that we live in, can we afford to boycott? Can we afford to do this? Can we afford to do that? Because again, it boils down to the fact that again the BCCI has treated the media in such a way over the last decade or so that you've been starved, that you've been left unsatisfied, and today I felt the same.
Well, so then, if you did feel like that, then there's merit in what Sanjay Manjrekar is saying.
But that's again, this press conference cannot be singled out. The previous instances you just mentioned are in line with that.
No, but
today
I'm talking about days where the wrong person was sent. Today, the person that came was not wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you were left unsatisfied at that time, then maybe you and Mr. Manjrekar are on the same page.
I wasn't unsatisfied with what demeanor Gautam Gambhir carried today or displayed today. I wasn't dissatisfied with that. I'm dissatisfied with the fact that there isn't enough clarity at times that is given to us. Holding your cards close to the chest is one thing. Nobody is asking you to reveal plans, but not giving the media and the people of this country answers that they deserve to know is what dissatisfies me.
I mean, see, Nikhil, he's had extremes. I mean, you started off at a time when players were far more accessible, isn't it? I mean, from the early 2000s until 2010, they were very, very accessible. The lack of access started after 2012, 2013. So that is why Nikhil's been in the extreme of both worlds. He's getting
you would know that very well. Things are very opaque nowadays.
Yeah. So, but that's not my point. As in, like, yeah, which is the case. I'm just, as I said, I'm just happy that I'm not even. I don't have the luxury. I can't afford that luxury of really questioning who has come. But I take, of course, Sanjay is not in the same place. So he's looking at it from the outside and he's entitled to his opinion. Now, just coming back to his opinion as such. I mean, firstly, I thought it was any press conference that anyone would have done. I don't think I would have gotten any different answers in terms of what I was looking for. Not the demeanor in which you speak. I'm not, because let's say if Rohit was in the press conference, the way he would have communicated would have been different. If Ajit was there in the press conference, the way he would have communicated would have been different. I agree. But pretty much what is my job in the press conference is to get the information out. Would have I known that Rohit is playing or not? No, I wouldn't have gotten an answer for that, because there is no answer that exists right now. We'll talk about it. Would have I known, who's going to open? I would have pretty much got the same information that I got from Gambhir, that there is a Ishwar and there is a KL. If Rohit comes, he'll. So I wouldn't have gotten anything more. I'm just saying in terms of just looking at pure. The second point, I think it's a valid point if we're talking that listen, he's the coach. Whether you like his demeanor or not, it comes with the territory. So the coach had to come. The captain had also had to come. I would go so far as to say even the captain should have been there today. Even though he may be missing the first test match or second test match, but he's in the same city as Gautam. He could have also come and addressed. You needed two people. It could have been the coach and the captain, as is the norm of the departing press conference. You could have had that. And third, it just overall look at the press conference is that what difference or what different perspective I would have got if, yes, the way they would have communicated, as I mentioned, would have been different for Ajit or Rohit Sharma. No additional information I would have got is my thing. Having said all that, I do not, want to disapprove of, Sanjay Manjrekar. What I actually love about him is that unlike a lot of people, we all have opinion. And by the way, you may have an opinion, him. A lot of times we do not express it on Twitter. We say it sometime. What I like about Sanjay Manjrekar, he felt like that, and good on him to put a tweet out like that. He felt like that, he's expressing himself. And that, by the way, is common with him all throughout, for which I appreciate him. He's as critical of himself, if you read his book, you will realize, as he is of most other people. So he looks at most things critically. You may agree with his opinion, you may disagree, that's also, you're entitled to do that. But he will come out and express it. He felt something while he saw the press conference. He came out and expressed it. Good on him. But do I have to be on the same page as him? No. And I don't think he expects everyone to be on the same page as him.
Yeah. But Nikhil, just before you get to the second
but how about him making that? See, the comment today was very personal. Again, as a observer of the game, as a viewer of the game, just because again you are on the fringes of the sport and you're covering it, does it entitle him enough to make comments? Again, you have to make peace with the fact of what's the real point of, just singling out the coach, and maybe you hate his guts for all I know.
Why not? No, if he did not like something, he thought somebody else could have done it, he is entitled to ask for it. I don't
the same as saying, somebody saying, no, Sanjay, I don't like what commentary you do. You have no right to be behind the mic.
I'm sure he gets it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
He gets it on a daily basis. I'm not going to blame those guys. There are a lot of people who tweet about it, and not just random fans. There are some known people who also do it. They're entitled to their opinion, absolutely, because they're the ones who are consuming that commentary, and they're entitled to it. I'm sure he knows that. No, not just in terms of the opinion. I'm saying that if there is an opinion that he has, that's his private platform, like that's his Twitter, right? He can put that out. So long as there is no hidden motive, there is no personal agenda that he wants to get at, and he just felt like that at the press conference. Yeah, if you think that there is something more than meets the eye, there is some, previous animosity, and he's trying to, get even based on that, then maybe it's a different thing. But overall, he is.
I was just before I was thinking about Harshit's point that we were disappointed because this press conference didn't give us too much to like get excited about, right? That's what you said at the very beginning of it. Is this the first time, if you can jog your memory back, that only one individual has addressed before going on a major tour or even, because I remember Shastri and
Kohli, yes, even I
they
remember.
used to do it. Agarkar and Rohit used to address some very important events together. Is this the first BGT pre-departure that you think has been done by only one individual? If you can,
Could have been, yeah. I can't remember.
maybe this is the disappointing factor that you're talking about because of the circumstances around.
No, but then why-
I'm fine with that. See, because it's an important stakeholder that came. Again,
But coach has to come.
yeah,
So
either the
maybe
coach
they
or the
expected
captain.
even
you may
the
not
selector,
like, you
chief
may
selector
not,
also took
could have, but my point
Yeah.
is exactly that. You could have had another person. That takes me to the point. I want to move from,
Yeah.
I want to take, I would have liked, I don't know about you guys, I would have liked the Indian captain also.
Captain, yeah,
Why not?
agreed.
Correct.
It's in the same city where I agree that right now they may not be a guarantee in terms of whether he's participating in the first test or not, right? That we'll get to a little later, but could have still come because he's going to be eventually a captain,
think
right? In the
that
remaining
it
test
was-
matches.
It was a very mindful decision made as to why he wasn't there.
Why?
Because again, just a couple of days back, he was asked that question when the test match ended. He was asked that question about his availability, and he said nothing's known. And he knows right now, after you've lost the series, you've suffered a historic series defeat. There's going to be even more pointed questions coming at you, and especially those pertaining to your availability, which because of personal reasons, he's not willing to put out. And those would have been the first set of questions to him. Forget what India's strategy or who India will open with in his absence, if that was made
But
clear
what's
to
wrong
us.
with that?
But
What's wrong with that? My point is,
this
if
is
these are
the
confusion,
this is
if
the
things are-
opacity I was telling you about. This is the opacity I was referring to.
Wasn't Gautam Gambhir sailing in the same boat? Gautam Gambhir, when he would be coming to the press conference today, also knew those same comfortable questions would be asked. One pertaining to Rohit Sharma's availability. The other because he's been in the news himself. 6-hour review meeting. This happened. BGT is his last.
Yeah.
So even he was in a situation where he's going to be coming and he's going to be asked a lot of questions. New Zealand 3-0 loss. So same frame of mind. No, what I liked, we used to talk about Ravi Shastri on a lot of occasion. He would also come and take those questions. You've done well. Sometimes you've not done that well. You came out, you fronted. Rahul Dravid, by the way, I'll admire him as well.
Yes.
On most occasions when the team would lose as coach, he would come and take those
World Cup final, yeah.
take those head on. No, even when he was captain, he did it. 2007, India got knocked out. He came out, addressed the press. So my point is, if both of you are in the same boat, it would actually, do you know the kind of, I'm just looking at it as a cricket fan, the kind of message that would have gone out. There are these rumors, and I still call them rumors. It's not 100% guaranteed till any one of them say, though Gautam Gambhir did mention that me and Rohit share a great relationship. What has been the talk right now? That, the blame has been pinned on Gautam Gambhir, that everyone thought that Gautam was taking this decision and everyone thought that, things aren't going great and all of that, right? And that maybe the captain and the coach may not be on the same page.
Yeah.
Imagine if in this scenario, you had the captain and coach sitting together, taking all the questions head on and answering. That would allay all the doubts that you may have. What this has done is, whether it's happened by
fueled the
design
speculations.
or it's happened by chance, not sitting together, it'll add fuel to the fire. That see, they don't want to be in the same, because it could have been very easy for the captain also to be available for the press conference, as I said, in the same city, and he's going to be captain whether he misses the first test or not for majority of the series, right? So he's in the authority, he's still the Indian test captain to answer those questions. Imagine if both of them were sitting together.
It's like, suppose
Best case scenario, even Mr. Manjrekar would have been happy because he would have got at least 50% of the answers that he was looking at.
Imagine if this is like, this press conference is akin to a corporate review meeting where everybody has to be available, isn't it? But the BCCI wants to ensure, player welfare comes first. That is why, let him take that person. Gautam, you only attend the press conference. And you're talking about BCCI communication opaqueness. In the era of 5G, BCCI's communication is like Internet Explorer. It will load very slowly, and then later on you'll come to know about the information.
That's another debate on some other day.
Dhruv Jurel getting added to the squad. Dhruv Jurel KL 2 days after.
Exactly. So, forget opaqueness and everything. I mean, in the same city, for 20 minutes, couldn't you take, I know all your personal time and all whatever's going on is very, very important. 25 minutes? Couldn't you have just taken out 25 minutes and devoted the rest of the day? You are not going to answer any questions. You don't have media commitments anymore.
Does this add fuel to the fire that, you know, the captain and selectors, everyone is on the same page, as was being reported in the 6-hour review meeting, and the coach may not have been on the same page, and he was questioned about a lot of decisions that he took, including one of resting Jasprit Bumrah without concern. And maybe that's why the captain and the chairman of selectors are not in the same press conference as the coach.
100%. 100%. Because see, as I said, any major series like this, I can't remember the last time only one person interested. Only one. Whatever differences might have been there, either it was kept under the carpet.
Could the chief selector's presence have made a difference here?
Yes.
Would have?
Yes.
To what extent?
Because
he could have at least allayed all the things now. That review meeting happened, whether there is any rift.
See, review meeting details are never going to come out.
No, they are already out if you read. But I'm saying, what do you do? There's that, it supposedly that Gautam Gambhir was thrown under the bus. It's another thing that is being reported. Right, so come out, you sit together with him. Yeah, I have questions, ask. Yeah. I'm just thinking, if Ravi Shastri was there, he would have said, yeah, ask anything you want. So I could have asked directly, that is the case. So no, not at all.
One team coaching staff and one from the BCCI. Could have allayed the fears that yes, we are united despite all.
He was asked what's happening on social media. The fact is that as is being, I'm not saying that anyone's corroborated that, but at least the message that went out right now was that the blame was pinned on Gautam Gambhir, okay, and a lot of decisions he took, which did not go down well with the captain or the chairman of selectors, right? That may have been the case, I don't know. If that is the case, then if any one of them was sitting next to him, what does that tell you? No, you're together, you're chatting, you're answering those questions, it seems fine. Right now, you're in a situation where all three of them are in the same city. I'm guessing they would have been in the same city, could have been there, sitting together. And answering those questions, any two of them.
Yeah, they were in Mumbai. All of them are in Mumbai. So why not? Just 20 minutes.
This is where people will add 2 plus 2 and say that, listen, he's one side, selector, whether it's true or not, captain one side, and that's what exactly was reported in the
to me, what explains Rohit Sharma not being there has to do with the fact that the questions would more and more have been about his availability.
Same thing, but Gautam, no, he's the one under fire right now for the guy responsible for everything. The last 4 days, this is what is being happening. This is what you're talking, that he was responsible. That's what was spoken in the meeting. He took the call to rest Bumrah. He did this. He wanted Harshit Rana to be fast track in this thing. He wanted, everything is that. All of that, in fact, think of it from a media point of view. If today I was told who's going to come in, I knew that I had so many questions to ask of Gautam, more than even Rohit right now. Because I've heard so much or read so much. Maybe I'll get some clarity. If that you did not get too much clarity on everything is another matter.
Exactly.
No, but the risk is there, right? Those questions was asked. The way he answered is a different thing. So that could have happened with...
I'm saying right now what's happened has happened. It's a bit, just crying over spilt milk at the moment that's happening on social media. What is important is the 5 test matches ahead. And of the first test match, which has the most speculation going around at the moment, you don't know whether your captain will be there or not.
Well, yeah, exactly my point. And you tell me, since you raised that, you tell me, the merits of the reasons are another thing that we can get into the debate. Some may say that's right, some may say it's not right, some may be with the opinion of Mr. Gavaskar, some may be with the opinion of an Aaron Finch, whatever, that's another thing. But you tell me, you are going on one of your biggest tours, which is the biggest rivalry in cricket at the moment. Team has travelled. And you do not know right now, even your coach cannot answer the question whether your captain is going to play in the first test match or not. I'm not getting into the debate whether he should play or not. As I said, it's an individual's call. I think we spoke that when even Virat Kohli took the break. Maybe in the same breath, even Rohit Sharma has all the right, and he is a better person to take that call, and I don't want to pass a judgment on that. That's his decision to make. Fine. But my point is, you are sitting in a situation where is that an ideal scenario?
No.
That today when you are asked about the coach, he says hopefully he will make it, but I don't know.
It's a facade, which is why I take BCCI press conferences with a pinch of salt. The decision's already made, it's just that it's not being spelt out.
Why?
Him not being here, Rohit Sharma not being here, and come on, we're with less than 10 days away from the first test match, and do we not know who the captain will be or whether the captain will be in the same city as the other players? Yes, I'm pretty sure they would know by now. And there must already...
If they know by now, why did not spell it out?
Because they won't, as has been the case in the past as well.
How does that help?
It just
only makes matters worse. If you spell it out, it's better.
Because...
In Virat Kohli's case, it was spelled out, right?
Yeah.
What did it make matters worse? People who had to criticize him would have criticized him. People who wanted to back him, backed him. Same thing would happen here, right? Whether you spell it out now or you spell it out later, how does that help is what I'm trying to say. People who do not stand by the decision will criticize it. People who think it's absolutely right, it's his right to do it, will support him. You might as well tell. I'm saying,
so rather than having, it's like saying,
leaving right now,
it's
and
like,
you don't know the opposition
like saying,
is looking everyone.
Rather than having 10 days of that criticism, I'll have 3 days only. I'll only make it clear 3 to 4 days prior to the test match.
But and you think criticism for 3 days? That Virat Kohli think criticism carrying on till today?
But right now the dynamic is, I don't want to go to Australia with that as another added criticism.
No.
Despite there being already a lot being said after that New Zealand series defeat.
BCCI's tutorials on how to answer the media is now outdated. Okay. This particular statement, I am not certain. Hopefully Rohit will be available. It's clearly been told to him that you have to say it in that way. Everybody's made the decision. But as is the case with India, you want to continuously stir the pot.
I'm not too sure that the BCCI themselves know, Siddharth. Because I'll tell you why. The coaching can only happen if you are 100% certain. I don't think they are. Because as you know very well, that the core, I'm not going to name anybody. When asked 2 days ago, the information that had come is that he is travelling.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Now today it has changed, he is not travelling. Yesterday it changed that he is not travelling. To today that we will take a call as to what happens.
Yes. It's warping and morphing.
So I don't think people in the know also have that. There is not that much transparency. Nobody knows, which is not a great sign.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what is happening. If you ask me personally, I think the reason that they have not said now is he's not travelling with the team is well known. That is the only thing you can confirm. I think that Rohit Sharma wants to give himself a chance of making himself available for that first test, provided the event that he's waiting for was to happen before that first test match to start. And that's something that nobody can predict at this moment. So even if he can make himself available 2 days before the test match, I think he will travel, which is why you have heard of this, which is why he said, I will let you know right before the first test match. So they're going to wait for him just 2 days before the leading up to the test match.
That will anyway get to know, na? Those visuals of him at the airport will come.
Yes, correct. That's what I'm saying. So that is when they will let you know as well. 2 days, 3 days before the test match is to start. If it was that, even, I mean, come on, people there also wouldn't have been, if it was 100% known right now, even in their interest, in everyone's interest, they would have said it right now, that he is not available for the first test. Because it's happened before. In Virat Kohli's case, same BCCI had made it very clear at that moment. I think that because if now you look, and I showed him that the chain of events, that he could have left, he could have waited, could have left. So what I'm saying is that the situation is uncertain at the moment. Yeah. Because there is still a 10-day gap, he may not be there for match simulation and so on and so forth and various other things. But I have a feeling that Rohit himself wants to be there for the first test to start, provided that the birth of his second born happens before the test match is to begin, maybe 48 hours, if he can be there 48 hours in advance. I think that is the thing, which is why the words chosen are hopefully he will be available. Because if there was a 100% thing. One, BCCI would have spelt it. Secondly, you did not have to use words like hopefully. And when asked also that who will, replace him, captain, where he said, in that also he says, of course, Bumrah will be, but hopefully Rohit will be there. Or, these one can open or KL. I think that there is still no guarantee and they're going to play it by the ear and try even at the last moment that he can come. If he does not, then they're prepared for that eventuality.
I have my doubts where this gets you as well, because yes, while you will have your captain back, hopefully, he's out of form and then he's undercooked as well.
That's a different debate.
Yes.
Whether it makes sense for him to come.
Exactly. Then whether this hopeful thing and all can also be then made very clear right now as well. If you are even exploring the option of, let's say, having him 48 hours before the start of the first test match, or let's say on the eve of the first test match, then what do? He's not had any match simulation, he's not done any acclimatization of the conditions.
What do you do otherwise also? If I'm telling you now, between Ishwaran, KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, match simulated KL Rahul, match simulated Ishwaran, practice game Ishwaran, practice game KL Rahul, minus match simulation and practice game Rohit Sharma, I'm picking Rohit Sharma still. Honestly, even though this Rohit Sharma is out of form, because my other options are not really great options for me. I'm taking him. But he's not said that. He's made it very clear. He's made it very clear that either we have backup, there is Abhimanyu Ishwaran, there is KL Rahul. He's gone on to talk about KL Rahul, saying that listen, he bats up, down, this, that, whatever. So you know that what their backup is. There's a reason they asked KL to open. We all knew that they were preparing for the eventuality of not having a Rohit Sharma. But you ask me personally, I will, if I was coach or I'm whatever, I'm saying Rohit Sharma, you can land, or I'm saying 48, you land 24 hours also, so long as you keep your eyes open and you're fit enough to go onto the field. Are you on? I'll take him.
See, hope is a very fickle thing. Okay, it can go other way, it can go in your way also. That's the thing that you have with hope. Now the
hope is a great thing.
Hope is eternal.
Have you seen Shawshank Redemption?
You have now?
I've just watched clips of it.
Tarak Mehta takes so much of his time.
Hera
All
Fairy.
the Sunil Shetty films. And
Hera Fairy. Malamal Weekly.
He hasn't had time.
Shawshank Redemption is...
I mean, I have seen clips of it.
Classic.
I don't remember the full movie.
Classic
but then
stuff.
see, the collateral damage and the distractions that would have happened if you had announced now that Rohit is not coming for the Perth test would have been huge.
That's what I'm saying.
Because this team is under the pump for losing 3-0 to New Zealand. Okay. The coach, the captain, more so the coach, has been under the scanner. Now, if Rohit is not available for the first test, and the BCCI had announced it now, all the criticism for Gambhir that was coming would have come aptly to Rohit Sharma. But they don't know the context now what is happening. People who want to criticize will criticize. They didn't leave Virat Kohli also. Rohit Sharma is on the same plane. They will not leave him also. So this is just to keep the fire in control. Hopefully he'll be available. But we all know.
He's not making it, you think?
Yes, he's not making it. I know.
He's not making it.
I am more and more of the same opinion. Because I would have seen him here otherwise. I would have seen him in Mumbai today at the press conference.
What stopped him? Like we all say that he's in the same city. Virat is not in the same city because he's already taken the flight and gone. 20 minutes. The press conference lasted 20 minutes.
That's another interesting one. He's gone even before the first batch. How come?
That's what I'm wondering. Is he got special privileges at the Waka?
Yeah.
Is he going to train there on his own?
Maybe. You can, if he wants to, he can certainly organize all that.
He can.
One phone call, you can get net
But you're sure of the flight heading this way and not the
I
other
didn't
part of the
mention
world?
the location for
Yeah,
that.
which part of the world?
He just ordered the flight.
No, come on. It is close to
Exactly.
BGT.
I mean, just if you want to assume he's going to the other side, that is even farther than Australia.
Yeah, long flight then.
Then why would you want to put yourself through that trouble? So I am assuming that he's gone down under.
Any pictures have we seen? I haven't.
He's at the airport. Now, whatever social media wants to make conspiracy theory of, let them make it. But then, if they had announced that Rohit is not coming now, the criticism would have been immense.
Yes.
And looking at it, this is just to douse the fire for the time being, but he's not making it to Perth. If he does, it will be a very undercooked Rohit Sharma, and if he fails in Perth,
Okay, my
The swords are sharp.
next question. Since you guys are 100% sure he's not making it, who's walking out to bat? What's test
Alongside?
match? I can't say first day because you could be bowling also.
Yeah. With Yashasvi Jaiswal, you're going to see KL Rahul open the batting.
100%.
Because if the name of KL Rahul was mentioned, why would he have a separate answer for that? He could have just mentioned, we have got our options open with both KL Rahul and
No,
Dugout
that's what he
Eastward.
said.
One
But,
point.
but then he was asked a separate question about KL. Yeah,
Yeah.
come on. So he'll answer about KL only.
So
na?
he'll answer, but then he could have maintained the same status quo, right? But then to mention that we have gone for experience and that KL Rahul can bat in any position, plus he's got the experience of opening in Australia, it's a clear-cut giveaway. And why did he open in the second unofficial test match? It was to make him acclimatized to the opening at Optus. He is opening.
If I
Not
were,
if you. What is happening?
but I
What
still
you
want to
want,
say, yeah,
You come to
I still
later.
want to say that as well.
Ah.
Okay, I'll say that later.
Ah.
I agree with Siddharth. Nothing more to add. The reason is absolutely and exactly the same, that he wouldn't have then added him to the India A squad. He wouldn't have then gone with Dhruv Juler all the way from India, played, opened. Again, you need to watch only 6 months of cricket to say that this is happening. You need not see Indian cricket more than that to know what is the planning over here. However, if it were left to me, if I can say that as well, I would go with an Iswaran for the sole reason. You made a decision to drop KL Rahul from that second test match. If you make these decisions, and which is why for the other day as well, no Jurel for Sarfaraz, I said, because you made that tough call to bring in a Sarfaraz somehow, then you can't just show him the door. You need to persist. You need to try out what you have sort of wanted to try out. When do you otherwise, for somebody who's played so much, who's averaging in excess of 50 in first class cricket, and there's been so much clamour around as a specialist opener, not somebody who's played in different positions, when else will that or will a more opportunity come by? If the Indian captain's not there, you give that boy a chance, simple as that. Otherwise, he will retire at the stadium which is named after him in Dehradun, and probably without a test cap to his name.
Exactly.
Imagine the irony.
You know, this is a giveaway. KL Rahul, he could have added KL Rahul or Ishwaran can do the job.
No. This was asked. What do you
Yeah.
think is KL's role? That don't for the opening. He said, I have both options.
Yes.
There is Ishwaran and there is KL.
But there is a
when he was
pecking
asked about
order.
KL's role, then he said this. Na?
But pecking order is clear. It
Because,
is KL
see,
Rahul.
Iswaran was already down under. Why did you fly in an extra guy there? So, if your option was that your number 2 option was already there, your backup guy was already there. But because of that sentiment that you have towards, I'm not saying this is bias, I'm just saying this is a liking that you have and nothing wrong or right about it. As Rohit Sharma said, there are certain players who will get an extended role. KL Rahul is lucky enough to be one of those players. So yeah, he was also sent and then he opens as well. Unfortunate what happened then with KL Rahul.
Your backup failed. Your designated plan A is also not worked. That's why you're on a hope. You're on a prayer. That is the way.
I don't want to find myself in a situation like where I have to pick between a KL
And then
and an Iswaran.
So you're
Because
hoping that
I am
Rohit
not,
goes back.
Nothing against them. I agree with you. The hard work Iswaran has put, hats off to him. Also, yes, KL Rahul, a perfect team man. He's, we are in a situation where everyone who's batted at any different batting order has had trouble, and they've chosen not to bat at that batting order. I mean, look at someone even as young as Gill, who's put his foot down saying, I'm not going to open, I have to bat 3. KL is much more senior than them, and yet he's agreed to bat anywhere just so that he gets a chance to play. Kudos to him for having done that. So I respect all that, but the way I saw them get dismissed in those practice games, it's not inspiring confidence. I would have still gone if you had put a gun to my head with a KL Rahul, but then I saw him get dismissed the way he did in the second inning, and it's not so much about whether he can score runs or not. He's just not there. Mentally, he's just not there. He just doesn't know whether to play at a ball, leave at a ball, an innocuous delivery from a part-time off spinner. So that's why I'm saying I'm praying to God till the last 24 hours also. Get Rohit Sharma in, and despite the fact that Rohit's not going through great time, with the bat. I still believe that on a given day, there's more chances that he may give me a great start on a day and establish some sort of an advantage than either of these two batters. I think that's the situation as an Indian fan I find myself in.
See, on those kind of wickets, Rohit will put India on the best platform. That's no doubt about it.
I'm saying that with any three, it's a gamble right now looking at the form.
Yeah.
But if there was one who I think is most likely to succeed and really give you an advantage if he gets going, it has to be Rohit Sharma.
Absolutely. But we
So
know
get him there.
they should.
You know,
I mean, everybody will point out when KL Rahul goes out.
chartered flight, keep it on like standby. BCCI can afford that.
Yeah.
A Concorde was needed. That supersonic jet, remember? It would have reached
Perth is close, very close.
10 hours.
It must be around that. I haven't flown directly from Perth. It's mostly Melbourne,
Melbourne.
Sydney. Yeah, but much shorter.
How far from Melbourne to Perth it is? I mean,
Flight,
Huh.
5 hours.
oh.
Not
That
surprised.
Mercator scale is so misleading because Australia is like this.
Yeah,
na?
5
So-
hours from one city to another.
Ooh, that means Brisbane would be about 7
You
8
can
hours.
do Srinagar to Chennai
3
in
hours.
3 hours. So can you imagine 5
So
hours?
Brisbane is.
No, more than 3.
No, it's about 3.
3 hours, 40 minutes.
10, no, 15 minutes or so.
Uh-huh.
I'm not mistaken. Not more than that.
That means Brisbane to Perth will be 7 8
Roughly
hours.
there. And this is 5+ hours. Yeah? I'm just saying
Yeah.
almost, not double, but almost.
He's right. From Perth to Brisbane would be
Will be
even
7
more.
8 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I've not flown from there, but but will
That
be
is
more.
like
Yeah, just
almost a
6 hours
distance
or so.
from Delhi to London.
London,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oof.
I mean, that's
You
8
get an
hours.
8 hour, 15-minute direct flight from Delhi to
No,
London.
so look at the time difference. No, 5.5 hour difference to certain places, and here
And
it's
it's
just
only 1.5 hours.
2.5
Perth
from
to
Perth, India.
India.
I'm saying from India.
Wait, if it is 7:30, if its normal match time starts 9:30, it shouldn't be 1.5 hours then.
No, it's 2.5.
2.5.
हाँ, 1.5 भी नहीं हो सकता है. It has to be like
Because
very
in the
close to
same
it.
latitude as Singapore and all those places. That's why I was.
No, it's 2.5.
Wow. Oof. It's a huge country. That's what I have felt Australia. 80% desert and only 20% in the
Yeah,
north,
corner.
west, south, east.
Still, they managed to produce 11 men who can travel anywhere in the world and win the World Cup.
They have won everywhere. They are the only nation now not to get whitewashed at home. They are the only nation to win everywhere with South Africa. Tests, bilateral series.
And still not be well received at the airport.
Yes.
Are we allowed to talk about Australia? Because Ponting isn't allowed to talk about India.
That was harsh. So that film dialogue, मुझे क्यों तोड़ा? Why? मुझे क्यों तोड़ा? I mean, what Ponting said wasn't wrong, but and he should be least concerned about Indian game. He should be more concerned. He's going to head of IPL
Well,
franchise soon. Yeah?
You know, the moment I heard Gambhir say that, like, he's actually a bit of a stakeholder. Yeah, come on. He spends more time in India than Australia, if you ask.
The IPL is your ultimate global equalizer. Everybody is concerned about India now.
It's made India more cosmopolitan than it ever was.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. मुझे क्यों तोड़ा? That's what Ricky Ponting would be saying. मुझे क्यों तोड़ा?
No, but see again, sometimes we're looking at logic. Sometimes it's a bit of posturing as well, and you have to, like of Aussie cricketers. Sometimes they say 40, 50. It's not that they believe in it; they say it. So maybe Gautam said it to put the pressure back.
I mean, Gautam Gambhir would have wanted to give it back to Ponting in 2008 after he barged into Watson.
Mr. Gavaskar recently said in commentary where similar thing. So you are attacking Gautam for saying it. He was asked in commentary about something, and he said that why is it that you are asking Australian players what should the Indian team do? Like who should bat there? Who should? He said you're not asking me who should open for Australia.
Yeah.
So then I think Simon
Steve
Dole,
Smith, he said.
no, Simon Dole asked him, so Sonny, what do you think? Who should open for Australia? Steve Smith.
Sunny G, I mean, man, the OG indeed. In so many
Yeah, well,
ways.
what he made you realize in that little interaction, SMG, is that then I may not then give answers based on what I think would be good, but more so what I would want them to do so they don't do good.
Yeah, maybe.
Correct. By saying Steve Smith, he just kind of made you understand that.
Exactly.
Simple term.
He is the OG. Sunny
So
G.
maybe Gautam's doing that, a bit of posturing, letting them know, hey, you have your own problems. And their batting hasn't covered them in glory, struggling against Haris and Co.
Haris, Naseem, Shaheen, Hasnan. All of them.
They have to get runs. Labus Kakne and Smith and all of them were there.
Smith's had a lean 2024. Ever since 2023, 2 years, even Steve Smith's had a lean patch. He's not been the Steve Smith that we of
Since-
2014, 15, 16, 17.
2020.
But you know, I criticize the Australian batting lineup and then I always think, हाँ ठीक है कोई run नहीं बनाएगा and then Travis Head will come.
Travis.
Just get 100 and be
We're
done.
1 week away.
Yeah. But India are not wearing blue now, so you may not do well.
Why? WTC was India wearing blue that time?
The skies became blue. Suddenly, when he came, the skies opened up and became blue. So that's why.
On that note, we're going to take your leave this evening in the dugout. Sorry, because of prior commitments today, we're not taking your questions. But thank you so much for giving us company as you always do and showering us with your love. We absolutely, are delighted to have you join us every evening. It is going to be a busy season coming up. Of course, a few T20 matches remaining, but then the BGT, we're winding down the clock for that. Every day there'll be some new masala, obviously.
1.5 months of absolute adrenaline. If you want 46 days of absolute hostility masala that you're going to get.
And for that, they need to stick to Sports Today.
Sports Today, yes.
Subscribe.
Please like, share, subscribe so that you get to know what is happening each and every day in the world of sports.
Bye bye. Good night.
Nandri, vanakkam,
Shubh
Shabbat
Ratri.
khair. Eat
Shabbat
your
khair.
vegetables and don't trouble your mother. Stay safe.